everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy, and we are continuing on with Trials and Tribulations now. We are on Episode 3, The Recipe for Turnabout, Part 4-1 Trial. So, last time we did some more investigating, and we learned up about our doppelganger a little bit, the Phoenix Wright doppelganger. He goes by Tiger, and he runs, he's like a loan shark. He loans money to people. And there's also the really creepy lady that is kind of related to a mafia boss and has a little bit of creepiness to her. Also, apparently Armstrong owed money to them, so he's kind of does whatever they say. So he tried to steal the medical files we got at the very end of the last episode. So we know that we cannot trust him. But now, with all the information we have gotten, and we also learned about MC Bomber, the virus that was made by our victim, the person that got killed for the coffee. Hopefully with all this evidence, we can actually do something. But this trial is, of course, as you can see, it's 4-1, so there's going to be a 4-2 at least. So let's go ahead and get into it. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and ended up on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination. Yes, determination. Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better go get in the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey, pal. That's Gumshoe, right? Yeah. Hey, Detective Gumshoe! How you doing? Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How do you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. Creepy, alright. Oh, you look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this will help. Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come on, think of it. Aromatherapy bottles? This is the small bottle that turned up at Trace Bien's kitchen a couple of days ago. Look at all these little bottles. Oh, and there's aromatherapy oils? Yep. Wait. There's one bottle that's different from the others. Doesn't smell. Do you finally got the analysis done? Yes! Okay, what is it? So, is it poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication. It's the medicine that the guy had. Medication. Yeah. For ears, topical use only, apparently. For ears! The guy's eardrum was busted out, that's right? You mean... Yeah, it's the medication from our victim. Okay. So we do know now that I guess it had to be Mr. Armstrong that took the medicine. Since it was in the kitchen. And what about the unidentified fingerprints? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour, and they might have gotten something on the prints. Okay. This is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it? I will try my best. I'm going to expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. It quite possibly could not be because of the doppelganger. He might take your name. Okay, 10 o'clock. Court time. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Or Beard? I don't know. Defense is ready? Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. Yes, big nose man. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting powder in the victim's coffee. However, the witness testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows the victim drank with his right hand, but according to the old man, he picked up with his left. Thank you. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, the victim was listening to the radio with the earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's analyzing how many contradictions a single case can have, Hunnick. It's amazing, you're right. Ah, allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. Oh. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles? The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off the scent. That's true. She said that Maggie said that the old guy wasn't even there. And today I'll prove it. Very well. Let's the first witness take the stand. Oh, not him. And you are? Bonjour, everyone. I am John Armstrong, the owner of and head chef of Tribulations. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh, monsieur, as you can see, I am the pert and perky gentleman. On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen? Isn't that right? Yes. Everything feels right. What? Everything? Okay. Ha! Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened the day at Tribulations. Yes. Okay. We. At Tribulations. When it all happened, there were 2 customers in the restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with new art decor. Having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps the old man was looking at the cup, the earpiece, the glasses. It would have been in reverse if you were looking in the mirror. That's true. Mirror? Yes, a grand mirror. Most enormous mirror. Was there actually a mirror there? I don't remember that. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum, yes. The mirror would have made everything appear back and front. It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Come on. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay, as always, beginning with pressing all of the questions. Press. And who were the 2 customers? The young man and not so young man. You're referring to yesterday's witness, I presume? Something tells me Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? Guess I'll try a different approach. I remember I was experimenting with decor. You're experimenting? Okay. How come I never heard of this? You're not familiar with the language of interior design? No. Please stay on topic. Why didn't you tell me the court before? Yeah. But I did just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This decor you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decorature? No. Art decor. A style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design, walls, ceiling, carpets, that thing. Ah, yes. Decor. I was trying to achieve a more intimate look for my restaurant. Okay. I was playing the most bold remodeling of decor. Okay. Like a large mirror. How big a mirror? Something about 4 meters wide, 2 meters high. Let's see. 1 meter is about 1 yard. Holy glass is in a frame. That's huge. I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. Okay, the ceiling. But I decided not to go through with it in the end. Press harder on the mirror. We need to know more about it. If you really had such a large mirror in the restaurant, someone would have noticed it. But there is nothing about the mirror in Mr. Kudo or Maggie's testimony. But... Oh, you didn't ask, Wright. You have only yourself to blame for such sloppy work. What? A mirror was delivered to Trace BN the day before the incident. As Mr. Armstrong testified, he was carrying out some design changes, and it turns out he didn't actually use the mirror in the end. Even if it was delivered to Trace BN, it doesn't prove that it was in the restaurant. If you want to doubt someone, try it, look in the mirror. I'm sure the person looking back at you will be dubious enough. Oh. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. Perhaps it was what the old man was looking at. Normally I expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object, but that old man was a little weird. Normally? How does normally come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Huh? Are you trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the head lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here, well, Trite? You know, it isn't normal, that's right. I do not have a top knot. Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. A cup and an earpiece would have been in reverse. Everything? He would have seen everything in reverse. Yes. We should take a sec and think about the old CD said in the testimony. How'd he phrase it again? The boy is wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens. So the eye spec would have also been on the wrong side. Everything would have. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand. If he saw everything described reflected in the mirror, then everything he said would be on the left would actually be on the right. Okay. Kind of hard to believe everything's the fault of the mirror, but do you think old CD saw everything through reflection? If he did, it would explain all the contradictions in his testimony, but that makes the situation worse for Maggie. So let's hope it's not real. There's got to be something in the old man's testimony that's got to be deeper. Okay, so we are past that now. So we should probably go to over here. So one. Yes, this one right here, the earpiece. So let's go ahead and present the profile of our guy. So his profile. I don't see an earpiece on both sides, but it is on the right side. Or, well, left eye. Left eye, yeah. And left eardrum was ruptured. Okay. Present. The coffee cup, the earpiece, the HMD. Let's think back over Kudo's testimony. Boy's wearing it on the same side as his specs. No question, it was on his left ear. No question. Summarized, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the left side. Now, if Kudo saw all this in a reflection, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Yes, you see, monsieur. Now, that is the thing, the thinking about. Yes, yes, yes. Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Exactly. Order, order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the reflection, then he would expect the victim's eyepiece to be on his right eye. I don't think he switches it around, does he? How bitter. Try it. You should have taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are you talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. You remember this, I presume. The poem? Yeah, I broke the vase. Sorry. Apology letter. I mean, Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man was one very generous, grievous habit. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking about this thing? Clearly, it's the victim's earpiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. The HMD made a big impression on the old man. So you think he got it wrong. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Ah, yes, they were both on his left ear. Left ear. Huh. Well, try it. That's the worst, but best impression of Kudo ever. I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good. Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of the contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. I can explain, please, if you look at the plans of the restaurant. Okay. The mirror. Everyone was sitting comfortably, yes. The mirror was in the middle of the restaurant? No, it was not! In two halves. So, he could look right here to see there. Okay. In the seat of the table next to the victim, as the old man was sitting. After a terrible accident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. Oh, he moved it after. Oh. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. Naturally, of course. Huh. I see no problem with the explanation. From the table next to the victim, Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little crook I am. Confusing all of the men and... Oh. Don't worry about it. We can keep up except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Hate that guy. I see you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? Oh, this is where we're going to put the medication. We're going to use the medication, I think. Very well. Your cross-examination. Okay. Press everything again. The mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, divided in two halves. Oh, crap. I forgot to... Okay. Press. So you run by the skin. The mirror was here, correct? Yes. Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't put the mirror in there. It'd be in the way. Look who's talking, Trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view among other things. But this is my seat in the courtroom. Tribulations' charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in the spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you. Trite. I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was in the middle of the restaurant? Okay. He is the only one in the seat from which I can see the victim. And where would that be? Lean toward me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Oh, gosh. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones, too, you know. Handsome, I shall tease you, too. Oh. Poor judge. None of us needed to see that. I already seen a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she is a mocha cream skin and cappuccino perfume. Good, I will tell you. He's the only one seat from which you could have seen. Only one seat, okay. So why can you only see the victim from this particular seat? It's obvious. If you look at the plans, you'll understand. The victim could have been reflected in the mirror like so. If you were sitting at the table next to him, you should have seen him. So that's the seat the old city guy was sitting in when the poisoning happened. Why does that seem kind of odd? Okay, after a terrible incident, I moved the mirror. Did you move the mirror while Mr. Kudo was off calling the police? Yes. I carried it out of the restaurant. Huge mirror by yourself. Really? What can I say? I know how to pick up... Oh my gosh. Godot actually laughed at something. Well, given the witness's physique, I suppose it was possible. Did you move anything else? I did not touch anything else. Okay. Are you sure about that? I touched nothing except the mirror. Mr. Wright, is there something the witness has said that doesn't match the crime scene? Suffering from a case of heartburn, trite. Frankincense and myrrh. Add a few drops to your coffee and voila, enjoy. I don't think you should. It's pretty strange though, isn't it? I mean, nobody mentioned anything about a really large mirror. Exactly. Does seem weird. Okay. Think someone would have, but Maggie didn't, and neither did the old CD. The only logical explanation is that there was no mirror. Okay, so right here, let's present the crime scene photo because something's not adding up. Where is that at? Floor plan, or was it crime scene photo we need? No, we need a crime scene photo. Let me see. Yeah. Ah, we can't see him to see if he is, like... Darn, if his earpiece is there. But I think this is what we need. This is a piece of evidence. Contradicts the crime photo. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself trite. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What is something that should not exist? Okay. Table in the left. Oh yeah, he said he broke his. He said he broke the vase. That's right. The old man said he broke the vase. The vase. What possible connection does it have with the witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on that table, or at least no, like, intact vase, because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. So, there should be, where is that at? It wasn't that far. I broke the vase at my seat. That's gotta be it. There's one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he's sitting, and yet court can see that there's an unbroken vase at the table. Because Kudo was not in the fact sitting at the table at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. That seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the reflection from. That's what I'm saying. There was no mirror or there was no reflection that he saw. Exactly. There is only one conclusion we can draw. There is no mirror in Trace B in that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase. While the police were taking their time to getting the crime scene, you're telling me that they picked up a vase, like they got another vase to put on the table during a murder investigation. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified in his own words that he did not touch anything else. Exactly. Go ahead and drink all that coffee. Well, witness, what do you have to say? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in the ear in which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life, and there's no turning back. If you want to claim that mirror wasn't there, Trite, then the problem is all yours. How do you explain that the old man saw? Are you going to be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction? There's no more than just one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Okay. Remember what Maggie told us. There was another person here, another man at the table. And there was a sample CD at the table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradiction is... Mr. Kudo made a mistake. Pretty likely. The ear doctor made a mistake. Not very likely. The thing is, I don't think Mr. Kudo would make a mistake throughout this. He was very, very intent on this. So the only thing is that the victim was a phony. Let's try that. The case is riddled with contradictions, yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. You said there were two people that died? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn. It was an imposter, a phony pretending to be him. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. So who would it be? That can't be the phony Phoenix Wright Tiger. It couldn't be Armstrong. Order in the court. Settle down. I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here? Huh? What did you say? Trite. Are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes, exactly. Someone pretended to be Glenn and acted out of the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about is his testimony was... The servant girl brought him a coffee, okay, and she put something in it. That's the servant girl right there is the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but everything works. There is one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but it's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. What if he was on the payroll of the other guys? That's right. Well, witness, if your restaurant really was at the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? It's the most difficult for me. He doesn't want to lie. It's not quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You're under oath, after all. What was there, in fact, a phony at Trace BN that day? The defense demands that Armstrong tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. The defense requests for the additional testimony to be accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events of the restaurant that day. Yes. Okay. Do you think I'll lie under oath? I don't know. The victim came in the restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after. There was no other customers. When he got word if he won the lottery, he became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later the poisoning incident occurred. There was no time for the phony to do acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted the mess to be cleared up quickly. You lied to make it clearly. Okay, clear up quickly. Okay, sure. Oh my gosh, I hate him. What you've done is committing perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. How do we trust anything he says now? Can't we just throw him out? For now, we'll hear your cross-examination. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. Guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after his cross-examination. Yes. Okay, in the restaurant. The victim came to the restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well? Yes, I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Maggie, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Ha! Unfortunately for you, Trite, yesterday's witness also testified the victim was alone. You know, seeing you squirm like this reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee is being drinking? It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing Maya say that, I swear. I remember the old man arrived not long after. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo? Yes, he came in often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once. It was special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me happy, monsieur. You're the most welcome any time. I said it was worth one sip, nothing more. It was terrible, that's what he's saying. Okay, so we arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about their arrival in more detail. What would I ask about? How many minutes after? What time was it? Don't ask anything. How about how many minutes? How many minutes after? So you're saying not much time elapsed. How much exactly? That leaves some gap of time, yes. And by recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? Approximately 2 minutes. Okay, that's not very much time at all. 2 minutes, that's all. It seems unlikely that anything untoward could have happened in such a short time. Okay, there are no other customers. So you're the only customers, Mr. Kudo and the victim. How many times do you need to ask the same thing, Trite? Do you ever catch me drinking the same blend twice? Yes, I think I do. You're trying to establish the presence of a phony victim in the restaurant, but you're wasting your time. You can't grind birdseed to make coffee if you catch my drift. But there's a hole in this testimony somewhere. When he got word of the lottery, he became very excited. Okay. Do you see him? I was in the kitchen, but I heard him. I remember I'm shouting yes, $500,000. Presumably the defendant heard too, correct? Maggie? She looked like a poor little frightened dove. What about Kudo? The old man choked on some bird seed, got stuck in his throat. Oh. Seems we now have yet another incident in our hands. Approximately 5 minutes later, the poisoning occurred. Okay. What were you doing at that point? Without any customers, you must have had time to kill. There is people to kill, maybe? I'm a multi-talented woman. Monsieur... What woman? Sorry? What do you mean? I'm a renowned chef and a tragic poet. Clarice? Okay. I was writing a poem, an angry tale of a chef in $500,000 debt, cooking for a man who won $500,000 on the lottery. Oh. It was called... Okay, whatever, meaning why. Perhaps I could recite it for the court. Please don't, please. I don't need it. No time for a phony to do acting. Okay. You mean it, you contacted the police as soon as the incident occurred? I asked the old man to call from a payphone. The purpose of the phony victim's performance was so the old man would see it. In other words, once the incident occurred, the opportunity would completely disappear. Indeed. Yes, it seems the shadow of doubt has been lifted. Guess Mr. Armstrong is connected to this case. Absolutely. Someone was impersonating Glenn. I refuse to believe it was obvious. He was there the whole time, after all. But if you're right, wouldn't Maggie have noticed too? She fell unconscious when the incident occurred, remember? And that's when the phony staged his act. We'll know for sure once I find a hole in the testimony. Okay, so we are back here at the beginning. Oh, okay, here we go. Finally, the time. So the crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a scary man. Does that perhaps jog your memory? The witness happened about 20 minutes after arrival, so the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 2:10. Here. Okay, I do know what we need to do now. Just after 2, huh? Thank you for help in jogging my memory. You're wonderful. I can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the time of the day was added to the witness's testimony. Everything I do for you. Oh, Judge. Oh. That's French, isn't it? Huh. Okay. So, 2 p.m. Now, let's go ahead and present. Because if he was jumping for joy, let's go ahead and, yeah, if he's jumping for joy right here, the Millionaire Radio Flyer. It was at 1:30 p.m., okay? If it was 2 o'clock, he would not have been jumping for joy at that time. He would not have been listening to the radio at that time. Finally got you, Armstrong? Huh? Oh, what do you mean? At the time of question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of $500,000 lottery ticket. That must have been the show he was listening to. I can't see a problem with the testimony. It's the timing, Judge. I wonder. You said the victim arrived at the restaurant at 2? Yes, I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I just finished serving a lunch menu. Get to the point, Trite, if you have one. That show is broadcasted live at 1:30 p.m. It claims that the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30, and it only goes to 1:40 then. Now, supposedly the victim made some noise when he was announcing that he'd won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred at 2 p.m. No, no, no. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier. The victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching the show that was already over, there's only one conclusion. The victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yep, I believe it. Phony. Yes, there was 2 Glens and Traceby in that day. The real Glenn, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glenn, acting out the events for Kudo to witness. Certainly seems that way, yes. I mean, if that wasn't the case, how could that explain the time discrepancy? Quite the performance, Trite. You're almost on a roll. Okay. But sadly, you lack the rock-hard foundation of rhythm to build your song. What is this? Music Theory 101? I hope not. Let's recap. According to your imaginative theory, it's now just after 2 p.m. The phony is performing a play to benefit Mr. Kudo. How do you explain then where the real Glenn is? I don't believe I have to spell it out in the court, however. He's probably in the back. At that time, the real Glenn was already dead. But where did they put him? That's the question. Thank you. Tried. That's exactly what I was hoping for you to say. Now I presume you can prove this theory of yours. Can you explain where the missing corpse went to? The missing corpse? Yeah, the dead body. According to the old man's testimony, there was only one customer there. If that customer was the phony Glenn, then where did the killer hide the body? It's gotta be in Trace BN, right? Prosecution has a valid point. If your theory is to stand up to examination by the court, you must provide us with proof. Where they hide the body? Let's hear some facts for once. Show the court a piece of evidence that proves where the body was hidden. What's with the intense pressure all of a sudden? I thought I had him with that contradiction. But he's turned it all around, backed me into a corner instead. Well, first, where was the body concealed? I would say inside Trace BN. Would have been too dangerous to take the body outside, obviously. The body must be hidden somewhere inside. Interesting. But where could a body be hidden? Maybe inside the kitchen freezer? I don't know. Perhaps you would care to show the court these plans? I would think it would have to be in the kitchen. Huh, I see. Nice, okay, but the real question is, can you back it up? Where's the... Oh, we actually do have one for this. The medicine bottle. It was found in the kitchen with unidentified fingerprints. Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? No. I've never seen that ugly bottle before in my life. I only use the very best bottles, monsieur. High quality. Where is the bottle found, Mr. Wright? Interestingly enough, Your Honor, it was found in the kitchen of Trace BN. Huh? What? But I only ever use these bottles for my aromatherapy oils. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy. No, no. It contains medication. What kind of medication? Ear medication! Yes, exactly. That he has to put every day in his ear. You can't be serious. Defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed, and I have the lab results here. Contents of the bottle match the prescription that was given to Glenn. Glenn's murder hid the body in the kitchen, at which time this bottle fell out of the victim's pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Yes, you were. You know what I'm about to say. It was you who hid the victim's body. You did a fine job pretending to defend my client, Maggie. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind the poor girl's back. Oh, we're backing him into a corner. Order, order. Extraordinary, yes, development. Witness, did you murder Mr. Glenn? Never. I could never do such a thing. But you would hide the body, right? Oh, wait, what? What's happening? Is he evolving? Oh, Godot's just drinking a lot of coffee. Okay, Mr. Godot. The bitterness. Every time I get lied to, I always down a mug of coffee. That's one of my rules. Do you have the slightest idea how many cups of coffee you've had by now? Then I like to do the same to the person who lied to me. I like to take them down with my empty cup. Listen up, chef. How about a brand new flavor in your ear? The H-deficient friend. Demand your pardon, please. You must hear me out. It is a trap. Listen to me. No, it's not a trap. No hablo español. I don't speak English. Not Spanish. Sorry. Mr. Armstrong, I'm por favor in Spanish. Okay. I'm only going to ask you once. Did you do it? No. Absolutely not. I simply... Let's hear it. You got one shot, right, Gramps? Witness, the court will permit you a chance to make one final statement. If you lie under oath again, Mr. Godot's coffee mug awaits you. As does my gavel. Oui, yes, it is clear. What do they always say in the movies? I've got a bad feeling about this. I feel like another lie is coming on. Very well, begin your final testimony. The confession, okay. It is true. I hid the body in the kitchen. A man forced me to do it. I had no choice. I had to go along with him because of reasons I could not refuse. But I did not kill him, I swear. You must believe me. So you admit that you hid the body. You're forced. By who? I cannot say, or I will be erased. Let's try a different question then. When Glenn died, was there really only one person at his table? There was another man. Oh, there we go. I knew it. Maggie was telling the truth. You may cross-examine the witness now. There is one more thing I need to do. Gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer. It's Tiger. If he says Phoenix right, I swear. The confession. It was true, I hid the body in the kitchen, okay? Did you carry the body yourself? Yes, I carried him, and I carried Maggie too. When she saw the victim collapse, she fainted. I could not leave her there. But why did you hide the bodies? The man forced me to do it. I had no choice. Okay. What man? No, I cannot say. I fear for my life. He's really scared. You just have to put the words in his mouth, Nick. You're right. If he won't tell me, I'll tell him. Why would you go along with this man? I had to go along with him. There's reasons I cannot refuse. And what reason would that be, Armstrong? You know, monsieur... Yes? Surely you cannot expect a young maiden to talk about such an embarrassment. Maiden? You're a bit old to come get away with that. Come on. A bit too male. Dang, Maya. Pull that out there. I can't finish the cross-examination without establishing his reason. So I'll just have to prove it with evidence. But I did not kill him, I swear. I did not. So you're claiming that all you did was hide the bodies? Yes, that's correct. If we are to believe you, Armstrong, you must tell the court everything. You must make clear the identity of the man who ordered you to do this. He's already confessed this much. He might as well stop dancing around the real issue. Yeah. But he really doesn't want to tell us who the killer is. Then sock it to him, Nick. Okay, I'll sock it to him. Okay. Okay, it's true I laid the bodies in the kitchen. So, we got that. So, let's go ahead. The man forced me to do it. And let's go ahead and present the profile of the man. Oh, they switched places. Okay, Tiger. Let's end this dance of Ring Around the Rosie, Armstrong. This is the man you're referring to. Ah, who's that? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. I don't know, maybe a month ago in the courtroom? Yeah. This man is Furio Tigre. He's the manager of a loan office called Tender Lender. There's no point trying to hide the truth anymore. I know you couldn't go against Mr. Tigre, at least. Not while he had this on you. So, it's got to be the contract. $500,000, the owner. Okay. $500,000 loan from Black Market Loan Shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything that man told you. Yes, it's as you say, Armstrong. The Tiger, he told me was going to use my restaurant for a business rendezvous. Okay. On the day of question, I was meeting a victim to demand to repay his loan. I don't know why it happened like that. I just did what I was told to do. I had no choice. I carried the body of the unconscious Maggie out of the dining area and into the kitchen. After that, I just tried to forget what I'd seen. I think we can now safely say that the man who forced your hand was Mr. Furio Tigre. Huh. I do have one question. The poison and the lottery ticket that were found in the defendant's apron pocket, was that your doing as well? No, I knew nothing about that. Making it look like it was Maggie who had done it, I was not. It was despicable. Mr. Godot, you will summon this Furio Tigre as a witness. I doubt that I can arrange today, so we will adjourn for now. Proceedings will continue tomorrow. What? 30 minutes. What? Trial will go on. I'll see it to it myself. I need half an hour to get that guy on the stand. Not a minute more. How the? Do you know him? Don't sit back and relax, Trite. No one knows if that chef is really telling the truth or not. This trial could still go either way. Very well. Your request is granted, Mr. Godot. We will resume once Mr. Trite... He called me Oh, Mr. Tigre. Never mind. Mr. Tigre is ready to take the stand. I'm just used to saying Trite. Till then, court is adjourned for 30-minute recess. To be continued. So, we have let it be known that Mr. Armstrong is a big fat liar, and he also owes money to some loan sharks. This Mr. Tigre. So now, next time, okay, we just have to prove what he said there at the end, that he was doing what Mr. Tigre said. We just have to prove that was true and make sure that Mr. Tigre gets the boot. He gets the guilty verdict. So, anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We'll continue on with episode 3, the recipe for Turnabout, part 4-2, trial next time. So, bye-bye.